Anyway, so we're going to talk about some video games this weekend. We got a couple of games to share with y'all. And first off, we're going to jump into Deathloop. Deathloop is the game from Arkane Lyon. These are the makers of Dishonored 2, Dishonored, not Prey, because that was the Arkane Austin studio. But either way, Deathloop is here. We've seen, more trailers than I like to count on this game leading up to the release. I felt like they were just hitting us over the head as much as they could.
Yeah.
They brought a trailer out and we're like, this is so cool. I'm so excited. And then 10 trailers later, I was like, okay, let's just drop this damn game. Okay.
Yeah, there was only one trailer that I was like, this is so cool.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like the James Bond trailer.
Oh, yeah.
All the other ones, I was like, this looks stupid.
Yeah.
They kept explaining everything.
Yeah. Plus, Arkane has not been my favorite studio.
Yeah.
They
'cause
make
you weren't.
some-
Where were you at Dishonored?
It was good, but every time I played it, I felt like it was just missing something. Like the world building is great. I love the worlds they come up with, and the characters seem pretty interesting.
Yeah,
but
the whale punk.
it's just like wasn't. Yeah, is that what they call it? Whale punk.
It's whale punk. Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
it's like steampunk, but it's whale punk because it's on the coastline with all the
I
whaley thingies and
I
whatnot.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah, something never just like clicked. I know Luis was all about
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So in Deathloop is basically where you go to Mysterious Island in Black Reef. There's a time loop happening, and two assassins are trying to determine the island's future. And you play as Colt, trying to find a way to put the end to the time loop, trapping the island in the end of the cycle, all while being hunted by the island's inhabitants. And you're going after 8 targets, 8 visionaries to break this loop and fight off the rival assassin Juliana, whose mission is to take Colt out and keep the loop going. So we've been playing. I played about 3-ish hours. Jason, how much have you played?
Probably about 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours.
Okay,
6
awesome.
hours actually.
Where you at?
Yeah, probably about 6.
Yeah.
Cool. So where y'all sitting at with this game right now after having dove into it, and first impressions? How are you feeling with it? Let's go with Jason first. I want to hear your opinion here.
So, like my very first impression of it, I was really enjoying it. It tells you in the beginning of the game to not explore because you're more likely going to come back to this area. And I'm kind of like, yeah, fuck you, I'm going to do it anyways. So I explored, I racked up, I got so much good weapons, trinkets, and all this shit. And I was like, hell yeah, I can stop anything. I'm feeling not as squishy because once you go in there, you feel pretty fucking squishy and you want to sneak around as much as possible. But then I end up completing the day and I'm like, all right, cool. Well, once you complete the day, it restarts back over and you're back on the beach with fucking nothing. And I'm like, no, this is Returnal all over again. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't want to play this anymore.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it got to that point because I was like, I could have swore that I was able to keep at least like some of the weapons that I picked up, especially at the really good ones, the purple ones, because they're classified in that range. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. I can do this. Or at least keep my abilities, because I was able to pick up a slab from killing Jessica, because you can get slabs from killing her. Ended up killing her, you got the shift slab, and I'm like, oh, this changes everything. Once you get that one, you can jump around wherever you want and take out as many enemies as you can.
And slabs are basically like special perks that you get that give you what, magical powers probably?
Yeah, magical powers.
Yeah.
I like to put it on the borderline, like almost kind of like BioShock, but I never got a chance. Yeah, I never got a chance to play Dishonored before. So a lot of people comparing the shift ability in Dishonored that is compared to this, which I haven't.
Yeah, and Dishonored has a lot of these same abilities, and they're just named differently.
You get these slabs from killing visionaries or killing Jessica whenever she jumps into your game.
Juliana.
Juliana. I don't know why I keep saying Jessica, but later on, you come to realize that you're able to keep these weapons whenever you pick up these resources to upgrade these weapons so you can keep them the next day. So no matter if you die or if you complete the whole day, you're able to keep those weapons. So first impressions, I was turned off. Now, since I'm getting into the game, it's not bad, but I'm not really hooked on it for some odd reason. There's a lot of reading. There's a lot of trying to have like a full plan and getting the details from the notes that you pick up, which I find a little annoying. I'd rather the game kind of just tell me and kind of let me fall through it that way. But it's fun discovering everything. I can spend a whole hour and 30 minutes going through one map.
Yeah.
And just exploring as much as I can. So far it's not a bad game. I mean, it's fun. to shoot people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I already like time travel stuff. So it already kind of got me that way. And then how everything kind of gets set up. And as you progress through the first hour, like there's cool moments where there's writing on the walls and apparently it's from you, but maybe it's from another you. And you end up meeting other yous who don't look like you or who have your same face, but like wearing different clothing. And they're telling you little tidbits. And there's this whole thing where Juliana's talking about like, hey, you've already said this before. You've done this before. Like we've been through this whole, rigmarole multiple times and you keep doing the same thing. And it's like, for you, it's the first time that you can remember, or like, I guess you've lost your memory somewhere down the line. So I like the stories where it's like things have happened and sometimes there's a loop in some of these other stories. And it's like, how do we get from here to there? And so I feel like that's going to play into the story, which I have predictions what might happen at the end, which I'm probably going to be wrong. But I think there's a lot of cool things that can be picked up along the way, and that has me intrigued into what's been keeping me going this whole time. And that banter between the two is pretty good.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
humor,
most of the time.
the dialogue and the humor in it's all is amazing. I love the back and forth between him and Jennifer.
Juliana.
Juliana. I keep
Jennifer, Jessica.
oh, so many J's. Juliana.
Yeah.
There we go. Highlight. There we go. Juliana. But no, I love the banter back and forth between them two. It's pretty good. So.
Yeah. No, the voice acting is really solid in this, and that's one thing that I've noticed with even Dishonored had some really good interesting dialogue throughout that as you're playing through the different characters. But in this one, they really leaned in on these two, and they're like, it's like there's an interest there. I don't know if there's like a love interest there, which I think they made mention of that early on, but I'm curious to know like what that how that all kind of comes to fruition as we progress through the story. But the way in which they introduce the two characters at the beginning and the way that they continue at the beginning of like each part of the day that you enter into a mission, like there's a little bit of back and forth dialogue as you're leaving the tunnel and going out into the world to do your next objective and stuff like that. And I think all that stuff tied in there is a really cool concept. One thing I just noticed, are they using the sticks, like the pressure and stuff like that, like at all?
Oh
No, they're not.
They're not using.
I was just thinking,
You just have to rumble for when you walk around.
yeah. Because he used a controller mic and stuff like that, which I think is cool for the dialogue. But I was like,
Yeah, there's
now that I
no
think about it,
adaptive
aren't-
triggers
Yeah,
or
the adaptive
anything.
triggers. Yeah, kind of surprised.
Yeah, me too. Actually, especially
Yeah.
with like certain guns, like the
Some of those guns
the
can be
nail
really
gun.
awesome.
The nail gun would be awesome to feel that
Yeah.
tension to pull back and hold. So
I
you
wonder
can
if that
charge
was
it
a
up.
Bethesda thing or something. They were like, no, we don't want to give PlayStation anymore.
Well, it's not a Sony exclusive, so I'm assuming that most of those properties, it's just going to be a Sony exclusive thing to have the adapted trigger, because this is on PC as well, right?
right. Yeah.
They should have done it. Just paid.
I know.
Bethesda
Borderlands
a little more
has
money.
it. They put it in Borderlands and everything. So I don't know. It's interesting that they didn't kind of take advantage of that, because I feel like this would be a good game to do it. But anyway, like Deathloop overall, so when I jumped into this game, like I had just come off of 12 minutes, which is another time loop game. And in 12 minutes, it really, as we talked about in the previous podcast, what really frustrated me was that I was playing the exact same thing over and over again. And if I died, I would like literally go back to the very first start, and you could like hold a button down to fast forward time, but you're always playing the same 12-minute loop. And in this one, I thought they were really clever in how you do that at the very, very beginning, where you go wake up at the beach multiple times. But then eventually it's like you kind of start in the timeline where you want to start. So you're not having to go back from the beach and go through the whole entire realm again. You're picking like levels and times of day to start within that loop that you have. So you have like morning, midday, afternoon, night. And then after those have passed, then it starts to loop over again. And if you don't have that ability, then you lose your weapons and you lose all your stuff you've collected, and you go back to the beginning.
And also with that, like in the different days, there's different things happening on
At
those
different
different
times.
maps. So like you can go there in the morning, but when you go there at night, something totally completely different is happening. So yeah, I guess I see what you're saying on that one.
Yeah. So, but I like that. It's weird thinking about the fact that what I've been playing so far, like there's basically 4 maps that you play in, and you're playing those 4 maps at 4 different times of the day, and that's all you play throughout the entirety of the game, as far as I've found so far, and then the beach, of course. But like it's interesting that kind of expected there to be more world that was out there. Now, granted, each one of these realms that you go into have a lot of room to explore and branching paths that like, oh, I could go in this room over here on the left, but it's not my time yet because that's not where my objective is. So I'm sure later, leads that I'm following, which leads are basically your objectives in the game that help you kind of piece together information that you retain loop after loop in order to get more details to eventually win the game by killing all 8 visionaries in the same day. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you also you have 2 different types of leads. You have your visionary leads, which is like leads that help you learn information about the people that you're trying to take down. And you have arsenal leads that are another set of things that you can follow to go to different objectives to get weapons or the slabs in order to make your character better. Which I've just started dabbling into that just recently, but I'm excited to see what else is out there to make my character way stronger. And now that I can actually
I got
retain
my
that
loadout,
stuff.
and I haven't really changed much.
Really?
Same.
Yeah. So
I think that's where you're having a hard time.
Yeah. I mean, because I just got the ability to where I can actually save that stuff. So now it's a matter of just me finding the guns that I want, and keeping those. And like you guys were saying, like the rifle shotgun thing is like super cool. I like that gun a lot. I like the. I actually had. I don't know if it's a nail. It's a silenced gun.
Nail gun.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Nail gun, where you like have the headshots and it's one hit kill. Silent. Yeah.
And
so that's really
headshots
cool.
are like super key in this game.
Yeah.
You have to be really well on your headshots because they will help you out in the long run.
I also
Especially
love
going in
just
there
running
silent.
up to him and just stabbing the shit out with my machete.
You kick them and you're like,
What's the kick button?
It's the joystick. It's R3.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot like there was a kick. So like when we watched
once you figure that out, it's a whole new game.
It is a whole
Yeah.
new game.
yeah, shout out to
It's like I'll run and kick, and then I'll shoot them when they're like flying or on the ground. I'm like,
yeah.
with my silence machine gun.
Shout out to Donkey, video game Donkey. He put out a really funny video called Kick Loop that I recommend
Loop.
everybody go watch. Because it just takes kicking to a whole other level. But there's a lot of really clever map design elements in this, and that's what Arkane's really, really good at, is basically giving you a sandbox to be creative in. So they give you these tools with all these like this, ability to teleport, the ability to chain people together. So you hit one of them and it affects all of them. There's I don't even know what else there is actually because I haven't.
Those are only
done
2
it.
I've seen so far. I haven't really like.
Oh yeah, so there's the invisibility one, which
Yeah.
is minor invisibility, and then you have the dash one, and then there's one you can throw people up in the air.
Oh, that's cool.
So
So you can only have 3 slabs equipped, right? Am I correct?
But
And one of them is always your
yes.
reprise, probably.
I think you
Oh
can
yeah,
remove that.
Yeah, you can. You
Well,
can
yeah, I
remove
mean,
it.
but you
but I keep
wouldn't
that.
want to.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Because your
they're-
reprise is your first one that you get, and you get what do we say, like 3 lives,
Two
lives.
retries,
2
Yeah.
retries, yeah,
and the third life you die.
yeah.
And there's also a really interesting strategy mechanic to it, where when you like pull yourself back for a moment, you're invisible when you get respawned. And I was like, I could use this to my advantage. So if I just got killed like just outside, like in this room, and it pulls me outside, I'm like, well, I'm invisible for a little bit. I'm gonna run in there and just like blow everybody up real quick because they can't attack me for the first like I think 3 or 4 seconds. You get respawned.
What?
Yeah. So when you come
Is that
back,
like a millisecond of time though that you were invisible? I don't realize you're invisible at that time.
I mean, you're not able to be killed.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
don't-
I've used it to like take people down.
Well, I guess I haven't died that
Yeah.
much. So
I know. I die all the time, so I'm like very.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
I'll pull it up for y'all.
like
So,
invisible
I
for like
remember exactly what it
it
is.
just
has to
good.
be a
I don't know.
millisecond. It can't be that much time where you can
It's
run
not
it.
very long. but-
Payback. you
can-
shouldn't
you can
have
only-
killed me.
Why is everyone dying around me? No, so back to the 4 maps. It sounds not. It's not a lot, 4 maps, but I think what they've done with it is interesting because this one mission I was doing, like you can only go in this one building during the day. I forgot which area it is. And then when you come back later in the day, it's locked because there's going to be a party later.
yeah.
Because the guy with the rockets wants to use it to help charge his rockets, something like that. And then in the evening time, it's all blown up. But the thing is when I went there, when it was all blown up, was before this mission started.
Oh.
It's not a spoiler.
Yeah, it's
there.
not a
all
spoiler,
blown
but
up.
I was wondering. Okay.
So there's things that are happening in this loop that are already happened.
And you
are
missed
happening.
out on it because you weren't there at a certain time.
No, because you create this explosion
Oh.
and it's already exploded, and I didn't do that mission yet because I remember seeing. I was like, "Damn, why is this thing all blown up?" And then you go back and it's like,
'Cause you
"Oh,
did it.
I went in the morning and it's still there." So you've already created loops within the game that you don't know about yet. I could be wrong.
No,
But-
I think
wait.
you're right. You're right. Okay.
This is what I've seen. Like things are happening. So, well, we can get into predictions later. But
So it's almost kind of
crazy,
like
and that's why I find it cool because you can go to the same area that has doors locked during some parts of the day, but then come back later or come back earlier in the day and they're unlocked. So it's like it kind of never gets boring.
so time is still moving forward, and you're just catching up. Basically, that's what it feels like.
Yes,
Because
because there are different U's.
yeah, there's different U's throughout. That makes sense now. It's almost like the Edge of Tomorrow. Tomorrow War. I don't know if y'all seen that.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, it's kind of like how that timeline works. That's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Anyways, sorry.
Huh.
Throw you through a loop.
Yeah,
I know. Oh god. Yeah. Sure did. So I guess story wise, I mean, like, how are y'all feeling about the overall story of this game?
yeah, it's interesting.
Finally, there's a Game of the Year contender.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not feeling it yet. Well, honestly,
Hey,
though,
it's hitting all my
I
buttons.
agree. Like, I don't know if I have any other games right now that I would put.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Like, I mean, because I was looking back at the list of games that have come out this year, and it's like, unless you guys were like really into like Resident Evil Village, which yes, that came out this year. Isn't that crazy?
oh shit, it did, didn't it?
Can you believe that?
game.
That's the same year.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I should finish that game.
Yeah,
Wait, did you?
Did not.
Did not?
I've
Oh,
only
this other shit
played.
came out. Wow, this has been a long year.
Yeah, it came out.
only
And that was
played
back
one
in
Resident
May.
Evil
That
game.
wasn't like forever ago. That was like May. That was like a
Wow,
couple months ago.
really?
Yeah. But yeah, we haven't had a lot of like huge. I mean, we had. I mean, for me, honestly, the biggest game that I've had up to this point that I played this year is probably. I mean, granted, like, yeah, we played Outriders and like beat it and stuff like that. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't put that as a game of
No,
year.
it's not.
I think It Takes Two has the potential to like
Oh,
be
yeah.
in that quality.
That was
for
really
like, such a
good.
really
Sam
good
and I need to
game,
finish
but,
that one actually.
But yeah, well, Ratchet and Clank. That's actually where
Oh.
mine's at right now. But
It's one.
yeah.
yeah,
One other one.
There's one other one. So, but yeah, Deathloop. I mean, this game it looks really good. By the way, it's on PlayStation 5. It looks visually awesome. It's not like stunningly beautiful or anything like that, but it runs real smooth. I'm playing performance mode, but I never thought the graphics looked like crap or anything like
No.
that. So it's really running solid and definitely pushing that 60 frames per second. I'm excited to get deeper into the upgrades and stuff like that because I just got the ability to do the what did we say it was?
Resend.
Oh,
Residium.
Residium.
Yeah.
Residium.
it's good.
So
Close enough.
I just got to that ability
I'm gonna name my
to
first child that way.
spend Residium in order to upgrade my weapons and trinkets and things.
And that's for you to
make
in
me
order to
better.
keep them after the loop's complete. Or if you die, you're able to keep them.
Oh, you have to
Those
spend the
weapons.
Residium to keep them?
Yes.
Oh.
God, Brett. Because you
Yeah.
lose. So here's the thing: you lose all that Residium once the loop's done.
Right.
You lose
Yes,
it all.
you have to spend it
so
all.
you have to spend it all right then and there.
Do they prompt you before like the loop is over? Like, hey, spend your
So
shit.
you go to the screen at the end of the day, and it's like you can hold X to continue the next day, but then they have the Residium button at the bottom. So you can click that and spend it all.
And you can also sacrifice weapons
Right.
in order to get more
Trinkets,
Residium and trinkets,
mods.
and mods and stuff. So
That's cool.
I mean, all that's like a very interesting concept to me. I'm enjoying that portion of the game. At first, it was annoying because I didn't know what was going on. Because you'll see the Residium items around, but you can't do anything with them until you accomplish a mission.
Yeah.
And that's why they warn you, hey, don't explore too much because there's no point in the very beginning.
Right.
Here's a trick. I think it's a trick. I think. Okay, I don't think. I'm guessing. This is what the devs want you to do. All right, take that back. So, at the beginning of the game, you get your first gun and you find the double jump trinket.
Yeah.
So every loop, you find those, and eventually you stop going through that beginning phase of wake up and go down to the
To the beach.
dungeon, and you get the hack-a-majig, and then like you just start on the menu screen.
Yeah.
And so if you sacrifice the double jump, and well, the gun doesn't get you anything. If you sacrifice a double jump you're going to get Residium and you're going to get that double jump back because you find it at the beginning of every day. So you can use that to get more Residium if you need it.
Well, I
know
think
if
they
you
told you that in the
can.
tutorial, though.
Can you though? I thought
Yeah.
once you sacrifice that's it. You won't get that back at
But
all.
if you go, if you go to the
said-
same
'cause
day,
in the tutorial, they told you like, you know, because of the fact that you get this in the beginning, they said. Remember, there's a part where they said they showed you how to salvage, and they said salvage this because you're going to get it back anyway. Because
I didn't
of
see that
yeah,
part.
they
either.
whenever they're walking you through the
I'm afraid
tutorial,
to
yeah,
sacrifice it. I
Yeah,
don't want
I
to
know.
lose my
yeah.
double
So
jump.
that's first stuff that you guys get at the beginning will come back, but I think anything you collect like in the world
yeah, that won't come back.
doesn't come back.
Okay.
Unless you go back and get it.
So you're basically always guaranteed to double jump. You're always guaranteed the submachine gun. You're always
Yeah.
guaranteed the hack-a-majig.
Yeah.
So yeah, beyond
Okay.
that, like no,
And the grenades and the knife,
and the grenades. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
machete.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
So you always have a base weapon set,
Right.
but
And that
it
double
sucks
jump
sometimes.
is amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't
I
want to
com-
sacrifice that and not get it back. I'm like, oh no.
you know, I can't tell you how many times I was like, oh yeah, I have a double jump. I've never fucking used it. I always forget that it's there.
I love it. I feel like Mario.
So
Yeah.
I forgot to equip it once as
Yeah.
I'm going through a run, and you can't go back into your menu
Oh, that's right.
to do anything. So if you're in the main menu and you don't equip your loadout then and there, you won't have it with you, even though it's in your inventory. You won't have it, and you're kind of like, well, fuck. So because I tried to do a double jump, and I was just like, no.
And you died.
One thing I feel like we were remiss to talk about is the addition of multiplayer in this game that they've added, which is there was a big piece of their marketing was that, hey, there's multiplayer. You as a player can jump in as Juliana and be the assassin that's trying to chase down Colt and stop them in their tracks. One, what do you guys think of it now that you're like, or actually not even one, now that you're in the game, do you guys care about this mechanic?
Yes and no.
I do actually. And I'll explain why I do care about it. Because after a while playing as Colt, you are squishy. You kind of get a little annoyed in certain missions. But if you want to go in there and rock shit and just run around and explore the map a little bit, you can jump in as Juliana and kind of get that chance while you're chasing down someone. And the enemies won't shoot you, of course, because they're on your side.
I never thought about that.
So I can actually kind of waste time and explore while this guy's running from me and try to kill him at the same time. Because as Colt, you have to go and unlock the tunnels again because Juliana locked them.
Yeah.
So if you run around as her, you can really kind of get a feel for that environment. So when you go back in as Colt, you can play. And plus, you get slabs right off the bat. You get good weapons and stuff, and you can set up and just murder this guy. It brings an interesting aspect to it, and I enjoy being that bad guy every once in a while and taking down Colt because I don't have to worry about
course
other
you do.
enemies. Yeah, I know. But I had to switch on to friends only because this morning I was trying to accomplish one mission that I wanted to get done right away. And as soon as I stepped in, everything was locked down. I was like, well, that's not fair. I didn't do anything. I just walked in here. And the guy proceeded to fucking murder me left and right. And I have nothing because I'm just starting off at square one. And he just fucking didn't give me a fucking chance, didn't do shit. He's just like, yeah, this morning you're going to get fucked hard. You're going to get the giant fist of Juliana's fist up your ass, and that's it. And that's
that
what I
was the
got.
intent. I mean, yeah,
It was.
wanted.
It
Still
was
sore today, huh?
Yeah, it's super sore.
This afternoon.
No, yeah. But that's how I feel about it. So
Do you find or encounter Juliana anywhere but Updam or whatever the place is? Like, does she show up in all of the realms?
Yeah,
Okay.
she will.
yeah.
I haven't seen her anywhere else yet, thank goodness, but I'm sure she's going to come soon. So it'll be scary.
But like you guys said before we started this podcast, once you kill her that first loop, you won't have to encounter her again because the
the
loop
next
has to restart. So
Yeah.
So same mechanics work for her, but she only has one life, so you just got to kill her that one time. But it's not easy, especially if you're playing against another player that's all they do is do that. Because the more you play as Juliana, the more you get upgrades for her, so the stronger you can be.
That's
so
awful.
she has her own little achievements on the side to accomplish.
Wow. Okay.
Like
I didn't know that.
like stay alive for 5 minutes. I got that one right off the bat. and then like kill this person this many times, or kill them completely, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or kill them with a certain weapon, or kill them with a certain ability that you have equipped. So
That's nice.
yeah. So there's progression with her, and you can upgrade her abilities to make her even stronger.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I put it on friends only. Then I was like, let me just put it on solo because I just want to get through the story. That's what I care about right now. And she's become a joke outside of this one time more recently where she had invincibility and she had invisibility. So she would go invisible and I'd hit her and she'd come out of that, but then she was invincible. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? She almost killed me. And I was like, God dang it, I want this power. And I only got the invincibility or invisibility.
And that's the cool
that.
thing about it. Like if you're able to kill her, then you're able to get a slab right off the bat.
Yeah.
And you don't have to hunt down. Well, I mean, you still have to hunt down a visionary, but you can get that slab to help you out to take out another visionary.
Yeah.
So on these Eternalist characters things, do you think they're like? What do you think they are?
They're human.
But I mean, like when you kill them, like they just like become like the Residium and stuff like stuff
Everyone
like that.
turns
But like,
into that.
yeah. So I'm like
It's a
what
time
if we're
loop.
not in a loop, or what if we're not? This is not real, and when we kill them, we're just like living in a simulation. And then whenever they die, because there's not like, I mean, there's blood that comes out of them when you kill them and stuff like that, but then they just like disappear. So it's like that's not realistic. I mean, in real life, their body would be lying dead on the ground.
I think this is a prison for these guys.
Yeah.
I think this is purgatory. And that's
Yeah.
why we're constantly going in this loop. And we don't know much about the island and why it's here, or what's the whole purpose of it. Because there's no accomplishment for these guys. They just live out a day and that's it. So I
Yeah.
think it's most definitely a prison of some sort for these bad guys, or supposedly bad guys.
Right.
But we're still getting involved in Colt's story, and I figured that will give us more answers once we go down further and deeper
Yeah.
into the story. It's interesting. It has me hooked on that portion of it, but the
Yeah.
gameplay is just kind of like, it gets annoying after a while,
Yeah.
as you can tell. Mister died 30 different fucking times.
That's where I'm at too. It's like I mean, I do like this game, but it's definitely not something that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to jump back into it and play it, because I get frustrated. Like I died 5 or 6 times in a row and was like, this is crazy. But now that I'm able to hopefully like retain more stuff, maybe it'll get better. But the first like couple hours is definitely was more frustrating to me than I thought it would be. But I enjoy the narrative, like unleashing of information and stuff like that as you explore stuff. It's like, oh, here's a lead for this that gives me information about this, and gives me some more insights into that thing and whatnot. But I feel like that stuff also is like very guided in that I don't feel like I'm able to discover that. Like I don't get excited that, oh shit, I just found this new discovery on my own. I feel like I'm guided towards finding those discoveries. And as open as the exploration is, it's still linearly pathed in a sense that when you go track a lead, like you're gonna, I mean, there's only a few options you can choose from, and it's not as open ended, I guess, as I thought it was going to be.
What it might be.
It might be,
Because it's our linear path that we're following, but
yeah,
time's not linear. It's only we perceive it to be linear.
it's true.
So
yeah.
might get mind fucked at the end of it. I'm just
I
telling.
hope so.
I'm just saying.
I have felt-
I'm excited for the endings.
Yeah.
I feel like they're probably they could either like fuck this up, but I feel like based on the reviews that have come out and stuff like that, it probably like has a really great ending.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of build up for the ending, from what I can tell so far, and it's gonna be super interesting. I'm ready for the end.
Yeah. Hopefully, I can just time loop fast forward and just get right there. We're ready to go. It'll be great. Cool. Well, that's
Is this
our
what would y'all give this game, like rating wise?
rating wise.
Yeah, I'm
right
curious.
now?
Yeah,
Oh,
right
man.
now,
Give it an 8.
an 8.
8 out of 10. No
8 out of
points. No point. Whatever numbers.
What
I
would
think
you
that would be
Tom?
mine too.
8?
8, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, same. I think I can probably actually replay this game again once I beat it. Like
That's
I do
what
that
I'm
a lot.
hoping.
That's the same, because I really can see after taking out one visionary, I saw a better way I could have taken them out very faster and easier. But I think I could.
Ooh, what if at the end of the game? Well, shit, I don't think that worked out. I was gonna say, what if at the end of the game you and Juliana swap, and then you have to play. You can play the game as Juliana.
Well, you do that anyways.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I know,
you mean
but,
like her story, kind of?
like yeah, because Cole's trying to figure out what's going on and stop the loop. What if it switches?
Or maybe there's DLC that'll come out and
That's
Oh,
true.
there will be DLC for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because
We'll see.
because Cole used to be the head of security and now he's not. We don't know why he's not.
Yeah.
That threw me for a loop, like big time. Hey, coming back around.
Sure did. Sure did.
All these loops. God dang
So
it.
many loops.